And for metal, you set up for live at Pompeii in the middle of, you know, what was that like? I mean, was that a challenge to get everything to work and power and all that stuff?
Not really. I mean, it was quite well organised, and the fact that there was a film crew there working with 35mm film meant that most of the technology required they'd already worked out and got there. So generators or whatever was needed was already sort of well on the way. Our equipment wasn't particularly sophisticated. We weren't driving a, you know, it's not like driving a modern stadium show with everything there. It was tiny in comparison to what people use now. So it was quite, it was a surprisingly controlled environment. That's why Pompeii worked for us. It actually had a very live feel because it was outdoors and there was wind blowing and so on. But there was no audience, so we had no sort of constraints of having to do the show at any particular time. It was really easy to stop, cut, go back, you know, film what was needed and so on. So it was really the director who'd come up with the whole plan, Adrian Marvin. And I think he did a very good job. I think we sort of more or less just, I won't say wandered into it, but it had been an idea that had been developed by Adrian, and then we just arrived and did it.
Was there sort of an impetus like, we need to do something live, and then it was like, well, why don't we do this?
No, we didn't think we needed to do something live. We didn't have any sense of that at all. I think we were doing gigs at the time, and someone went, oh, well, why don't we, Adrian came up and said, look, I think we should make a film. It'll take 10 days or whatever it was. And we went, oh yeah, all right, then let's do that.
And you were, Pink Floyd was also doing soundtracks at the time as well.
Yeah.
Obscured by Clouds.
We were sort of, you know, we weren't, I don't think we were working in a very sort of organised direction, if you like. You know, we would do whatever came up and go, yeah, that sounds interesting. And the film tracks with Bobby Schroeder, oh yeah, let's do that. And it was a really interesting discipline, I mean, and in a way very different to working on an album, because you were never having to, or you rarely had to do a finished song. You were just coming, you could come up with an idea that maybe only needed to be 16 bars long. And so in some ways it was an easier way of working. And Barbe was very easy to work with because he would take a piece of music and sort of make it fit. It wasn't, we weren't working to time codes and click tracks and cut, sharp cuts. It was very moody and very, so I think it worked well. I mean, I think he knew how to use our music, which is not always the way it worked with other people.
And actually there was a song from Zabriskie Point that wasn't used in the film, but ended up being Us and Them.
That's right, yeah. And that's sort of interesting that working with Michelangelo Antonioni was really quite tricky, because he wanted to have much more control than Barbe ever did. So he would always want us to do 5 different versions of something so he could select the one he liked best, which is very time consuming. And considering the amount of time and effort that went into it, I think probably it was you know, not as productive as the Barbe Schroeder sessions.